Hello and welcome. My name is Jonesy, and I will be the storyteller tonight for our new episode of Born of Rage, um, which is our season 2 premiere tonight. Um, for those who don't know about Born of Rage, it is a Werewolf the Apocalypse game set in White Wolf's World of Darkness. It does take, it is a horror game, so it does have elements of gore and psychological horror. So if that's not your cup of tea, we totally get it. We do have some other cool shows like Something Dragons, which is a podcast for young players learning the joys of Pathfinder, and we also have our Titan City Chronicles Mutants Masterminds games if those are worth your stream. But if not, welcome and please, we're welcome to join us tonight. We're happy to have you here. Um, with that, I am going to have our players do a quick introduction. If you could just say your name, your character's name, and your tribe. Um, and we're going to start with our 3 returning cast members. If you'd like to go first.
Sure. Hi, my name is Alex, and I will be playing the part of Darren. Once again, Daddy Darren has returned to continue his tenure as a werewolf. Lots of wonderful things have happened, and lots of terrible things have happened too, but he's excited to see what happens next.
I'm Aaron. I'm still playing Kennedy. Kennedy is a Fianna Galliard. She is a Irish dancer who has lost her ability to perform because now she's a werewolf. She also briefly found romance and lost it because that packmate wandered away. So she's totally not bitter.
Oh, totally not better.
Hello, everybody. Killian is back. Back where there's heat, back where there's AC, back where there's Wi-Fi. He's finally returned from Canada. It's ready to help out the gang once again. He's a Ragabash Glasswalker, just doing his best.
Okay. And joining us, we do have 2 brand new pack members. If you'd like to introduce your name and your character's name and tribe, starting with Travis.
Hello, I'm Travis. I'll be playing Oliver, another man's treasure, who is a Bonar.
And I'm Liz, and I'll be playing Naga, and she is a Fianna.
Sweet. So, a couple things real quick I'd like to mention. For those who are unfamiliar, it is September on Twitch, which means that the Twitch is running discounts and on 20 to 30% off on subs. So if you do sub tonight, you would get a discount, which is great. Now we do appreciate if you do sub. You don't have to, but it does help us with some of the costs for doing the shows. Since we are an independent channel, we don't really have any sponsors. Those subs help us a lot, so we appreciate it if you do decide to sub. If you do, one of the things we're gonna experiment with some things this season as far as that goes. But one of the things we're gonna start trying out first is anyone who subs, resubs, or gifts a sub will be able to add a die to a die pool that the players can tap into to get an advantage on some other more critical rolls. So we'll see how that goes. Along with that, it has been about a year, roughly, since the pack has come back from the wilds of Canada, completing their rite of passage. To that end, I do want to kind of touch base with the recurring pack members during that year about what has gone on. Specifically, I'm going to start with Kennedy. And the year that you've been gone, when you first returned, there were lots of signs and with your pictures, with your flyers with your picture on it, your name, have you seen this girl, question marks, posted in subways and bus stops and just kind of plastered around Manhattan, near and around Central Park.
Fantastic.
It seems that your parents are rather distraught with you being missing and would like to know where you're at.
Well, it'd be the first time my dad cared what I was since I've been 3. Haven't seen the bastard, but well, that also means that Kennedy's probably not leaving the house a whole lot. She was staying with the Rileys, so she's probably trying to, not be anywhere that can easily be found and easily be seen. And if she does go out, she uses the Marvel Comics standard disguise of a baseball cap and sunglasses, and
Works every time.
it works every time. She also doesn't really probably want to go out much right now. She's she'll obviously respond when the pack calls, but she's feeling a little down right now. So
Okay, awesome. Killian, how has your life changed since you've returned? When you came back, you did have an apartment set up with a they fixed the doors and all that stuff, and you have an apartment that's rent has been paid up for the next 6 months for you.
Killian is having a great old time. His rent's paid up. He's just doing his schoolwork, going to university. He's been helping Daddy Darren move into his new apartment since he didn't get to keep the house, set up the Wi-Fi, and just helping him out with any other tech issues he's been needing. I've tried to touch base with Kennedy a couple times, but she's not really the partying type.
you're kidding, right?
Miss Marvel has to stay hidden all the time. She can't come to a rager at the uni.
Oh, no. If there's a party where she can easily be hidden, she'll come. She will happily go, and she will dance harder than anyone else on the floor, to that point of exhausted, sweaty, has to be dragged off the floor. She pushes herself that hard.
Trust me, Kennedy, I am very sorry I misunderstood, but there is a rave next weekend, so.
Cool. And Darren, how is life with you?
My best friend is a burned out tech guy who's not really even my friend. My divorce is finalized. I did lose the house, but I still have Resources 3, so I assume I have a nice place downtown. And Darren's kind of thrown himself into his work. He has taken one of his old police scanners, and he's been keeping an eye out for things that he thinks sound strange or sound guru-ish, and he's been trying to still do the protect and serve thing as best as he can.
Excellent.
And he drinks a lot with Killian at night. Sometimes he cries.
Okay. Awesome. Actually, during the last couple of months, you've actually gotten in a few altercations with some vampires. As they get too close to your territories, and you and a couple other guru go out and put the beat down on a few of them here and there, and just generally keep them off too many of your kinfolk.
Perfect.
So now we do have two, and during the first few months you guys were back in New York, things were going okay. Fia seemed a bit distracted, and she started spending a lot of time with some of the other Silent Striders, and and she was just spending more and more time in the Umbra, and they kind of alluded to the fact that she had some unfinished business that she needed to attend to, and training that she needed that they could give her back home. So so she did leave to go on an Umbral quest with a few of the other Striders. So she is gone right now. Has been for by the time we catch up to the pack, it'll be a couple months at that point. So since then, since your return, you've been back in New York City for a few months at that point. When she left, and that was just pretty much down to just the three of you, which is a relatively small but not unheard of small size pack. when some of the elders kind of mentioned that they might want to see if there's anyone else looking to join up or expand the size of the pack. And that's where we cut to our illustrious new allies that are joining. Meanwhile, a few months back, over at the Sept of the Hand of Gaia in upstate New York, near the Finger Lakes area, we find our newest pack members, Oliver and Naga. Naga being a young Fianna Theurge, born and raised in the wilds as a lupus, you're still getting the handle of what is this two-legged thing and why do they drive cars and what's this, so many people in such a small area. It should be out enjoying the wilds. So you're still kind of getting used to the whole concept of Hamlet life. You're getting a pretty good handle of it, but there's still some nuances of it that you don't quite get, especially like the texting thing. With you being kind of a gift at Theurge, but still kind of young and raw in your abilities, they have partnered you up with a boner on the Sept, a boner metis on the Sept, Oliver. Oliver being having been born and raised in Guru society is very familiar with Hamlet life and Metis life, and to some degree lupus life, and has since been born and raised in Guru society, has had a little bit more time to train and kind of understand the ins and outs of the Umbra and the Deep Umbra and the far realms. They've kind of put you together as a steady buddies, for lack of a better term. It was about 4 months ago, Oliver, when you awoke outside under a tree, and you're laying down on the ground, and you feel something scurrying up your stomach and up to your chest, and you see a little tiny little rat kind of pops up, and it's kind of twitching its little nose and its little hands. It's like,
Hello
poke,
there,
poke.
little one.
Poke.
Can I help you?
Yes. You. Yes, you. It kind of rubs its little hands together like it's up to something. Message for you. I got message for you.
Absolutely. From who?
From Big Rat.
Oh, of course. What does Mother Rat want today?
The seekers will be found.
The seekers will be found.
The seeker will be found. And
Seeker or seekers?
Seeker.
Okay.
Will be found. And you must be in the green one. He is.
The green.
Mm-hmm.
Which green?
The
holy place? The Sept?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Bound green. Boxed green.
Got it.
Because the questers will need your aid. Mm-hmm. Yep, that was the message. Yep.
Absolutely. I guess I need to talk to some people. Just me or other or my other friend too?
Kind of shrugs its shoulders.
My other friend too it is then.
And with that, you kind of blink it, and you're just standing there talking to yourself.
Oh, that was strange. I'll get up, kind of double, pat myself off, and scratch the parts that are itching, and kind of move to try to tell people that I need to go somewhere. That my tribal totem has told me that I need to head to the Sept of the Green. So I'll go speak with the Sept Alpha or the Sept Beta, whatever is available. I will go get Naga as well, as they are my current friend. And Oliver needs as many friends as he possibly can because he doesn't have many.
Um,
So
So the Finger Lakes Sept is run by the Black Furies.
oh, good.
So they're pretty chill, all things considered, when it comes to you. And when you go over to talk to find one of the elders to talk to, she ushers you on over. She's another theurge, and she's like, what disturbs you so late this evening?
I had a vision from Mother Rat, saying I need to find the Seeker in the green. So I guess I need to head to New York. Because they said that by the green they meant Sept of the Green. So I'm gonna go. If that's okay with you.
Is there indication of how dangerous this might be for you?
No. The rat seemed already as confused as possible, trying to just get me the information. So yeah, that's about all I've got. I need to find the Seekers, apparently.
Okay. Yeah. That's yeah.
I also want to make sure it's okay I bring Naga with me, because she could probably use the understanding of human society, as well as it's always a fun trip, I could assume.
Certainly. And I'm sure your elder will Mother Larissa will be more than happy to be happy to see you.
I would hope so.
And yes, I think that would be a very wise decision to take Naga with you to the Sept of the Green. I think it would be an educational experience, and it doesn't seem like there's any extreme dire importance over this at this moment. So of course, if you do hear of anything, New York itself can be a dangerous place. So
yeah, luckily the Sept there, as far as I'm aware, is pretty competent.
one would hope so after all these years.
Yeah, one would hope so. Having a Sept in the middle of the largest city in this area. So.
Well, we can arrange travel for you.
That would be super helpful, because I seem to be. Wait, no, we're just my entire tribe's poor, so bus fare would even be rough for me. And yes. I think, and as far as I remember, Naga's a lupus, which means she's probably pretty strapped for cash too.
Yes. Well, let's discuss it more in the morning, and we can arrange. We can send out a messenger and let the Sept the Green know that you'll be coming.
Sounds good.
The following day, one of the elders does go and looking for you, Naga. And her name is Myra. She's an older Hamid Black Fury, and she is looking for you. Naga, I would like to speak with you for a moment, if that's okay.
Yeah, I have a moment.
Your fellow student Oliver, that you've been training a little side by side with.
Mm-hmm.
His presence is needed in the Sept of the Green, which is in New York City. And he was wanting to know, and I'm kind kind of paraphrasing a little bit, but he's being asked to go to the Sept of the Green in New York City and would like you to accompany him on that trip. Me and some of the other elders do think it would be a good experience for you, a chance to learn more about the Hamut side of being guru.
You mean like be around people?
Yes.
And I have to?
You would mostly be with other guru, but you
That's
would.
still other people, but I guess that's fine. Whatever you say.
Okay. Well, we're going to be arranging travel in the next couple days. So if there's anything that you need before that, please let us know.
Will do.
Okay. And with that, they have reached out to the Sept of the Green, and they 3 days from then, they're going to open a moon bridge to allow you to moon bridge over to the Sept of the Green.
Excellent.
When you arrive, you're actually met by a few of the members of the Sept, including an elder stargazer by the name of Akalon. And he's like, "Oh, well, welcome, both of you, to the Sept of the Green. I'm under the impression this is going to be your first time in our Sept, visiting our Sept in our city."
Yes, it is the first time I believe the first time both of us have visited. At least I have.
Well, there's no way I would be around people before this, so.
Okay. I do want to arrange for you to meet with a few other younger guru that we'd like to that I'm going to suggest that be your contacts and allies here while you're visiting, so that you're not on your own.
All right.
So I will gather them together tomorrow morning, and in the meantime, can I help arrange for sleeping arrangements? Would you feel comfortable sleeping here in the park?
I mean, if you got a nice shady tree, I'll be good.
And it's primarily looking
And-
over to Nago when he says that.
Yeah, the less people, the better.
Certainly. I definitely know that it can get unnerving to being in a strange place. So they do arrange, shows you around the Sept, the basic layout of the Sept, and kind of show you a spot where you guys both can crash and relatively secured in safety in Lupus form. So with that, you a couple days next day, Darren and Killian and Kennedy you all get a message asking you to come to the Sept that evening. It's from Aklon, and his messages texts you and says, I do have some other young guru that I'd like to introduce you to.
All right, we'll be there.
No problem.
Riverdale, do you need a ride again?
I mean, I'm already here, so I'll just wait the hour and a half and we'll go together.
How do you keep getting into my house?
Why do you keep feeding me?
Feeding you isn't exactly the right term when you just go in and help yourself to whatever's in the fridge.
I mean, when he says no, I'll stop. Do you want something, Kennedy? We got chips.
I've
Fine.
got chips. I've got chips. I told you to quit getting into my Doritos. It's the one thing I let myself have.
I'm just making a financial move. I don't have to pay Brent for 6 months, so I'll save up all the money and
6 months.
yeah, then I'll make some good money management moves for myself.
So,
I'm gonna need to get a 2-bedroom place.
couple hours pass, and then eventually the three of you make your way to the Sept of the Green, where Akalon has arranged for you to all meet. And when you arrive, you see two other people along with Akalon. At this point, Travis and Liz, would you please describe what your characters look like to everyone?
Sure. Liz, do you want to go first?
Sure. So Naga is she looks very plain. Kind of looks like everybody else that you would see in New York, so she doesn't really stand out, except for if you look at her eyes. People think she's blind because her eyes are so like that white ghost blue. But she has really dark hair. She usually wears like grungy jeans, combat boots, and a like raggedy t-shirt and a jacket. So, and she has white skin. I don't know if that mattered, but
And is she currently in her Hamlet form, or is she currently in Lupus form?
she'd be in lupus form because that's where she's most comfortable. So her fur is all black, except for her eyes. Her eyes are that blue color.
Awesome.
Oliver is kind of a well-built young man. He kind of wears very clothing that looks to be layered, even in like the heat. What little skin you can see seems to have formed like some sort of like psoriasis or like blotchy parts on it. His face, what is pretty visible right now, is almost cracked. The skin is almost cracked across it. He is very much showing off his metis deformity. That is a very tough hide. Other than that, he has a kind of splotchy hair, but like his face is a little bit more well kept. But when you think of a Bonar, he kind of falls in that idea of dirty. Kind of seems to have as much on him as he possibly can. He has a gym bag that looks pretty well worn, but well taken care of. So, and he looks to be about late 20s.
Okay.
Awesome.
Cool.
So as you approach the group, three of you see these two new guru that you've not laid eyes on before. Welcome. And just a quick round of introductions and introduces everyone. These two guru are going to be staying here at the Sept of the Green for a little while. They come from the Sept in upstate New York. Since this is relatively new territory for them, I would like if you three could act as liaisons and hopefully help them out, show them around, just generally give them someone that they can reach out to if they need any assistance or anything like that.
So you saying like take him to the Statue of Liberty and get him some pizza, or what do you mean?
Well, I mean, if that's what they wish to do, that I don't know if Naga would feel super comfortable there.
I might have a bit of trouble traveling through there.
So, but generally, just help show them around, make sure that they know where places are safe to go, what places are not safe to go, and generally, kind of watch out for each other.
Yeah, sure. Name's Killian, and you are? to. I'll kind of go ahead and gesture to Olivia. I mean Oliver.
I'm Oliver. I'm a Bonar Therge. I was born a Metis. I'm Cleoth. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure. So, and who's your friend?
It's Naga.
Pleasure to meet you both. I don't want to sound blunt, but where are you guys sleeping?
I found a
Um,
nice tree and put a cardboard box down.
No, you're not gonna loiter. You guys can stay with me in Riverdale.
No. Mm-mm. I'll stay in the yard.
This is New York City. I don't have a yard.
Do you have a roof?
I do have a roof.
Does it have a roof garden?
I don't go up there. That's
She could always stay with me and the Rileys. They have a yard.
I'm just gonna look back and forth between Oliver and the rest of you.
I mean, I don't know if the Sept will let us stay here.
I mean, that's an option too, I suppose.
I mean, it is the largest park in the one of the largest parks in the United States. So
My understanding is
Well,
that it's a 50-50
publicly.
whether it's a hobo or a guru in there.
Publicly accessible, 24 hours park. But yes.
I mean, they can't really get into the Sept part of it. Shockingly, the humans here supposedly can't just wander on to our holy grounds.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah,
that guy
no.
over there. This is the homeless man throwing up in a gutter.
He looks like a fine individual.
What a pleasant city.
Yep, the city of
yeah,
dreams.
no idea.
I mean, as cities go, it's not bad.
Not too terrible.
I can't tell whose house that came from.
Yeah, I mean the weather's getting pretty bad here. You sure you want to stay in the park with all this rain coming through?
I've seen worse and been through worse.
I literally have stuff that allows me to stay like that reasonably fine.
I mean, water does kind of just run off our fur, so like,
You know, you might be more comfortable if you were in Hamid form walking around here.
says who?
You haven't dealt with many Lupus born, have you?
Yeah, Darren,
No.
did you just assume her form?
Riverdale, we're not talking about this right now. Look, I'm just saying this is a city of people. It's easier to blend in as a person.
Yeah, we don't want animal control ringing you up. And even if we do get you back, that's like $200.
Ooh, that's expensive.
That is expensive.
I mean, I suppose the real question is, Oliver, what is it that you're meant to be doing while you're here in the city?
So Mother Rat, well, at least a Jagling of Mother Rat visited me and told me to find the Seekers.
Speakers.
Well, that's not vague at all.
Right? Super vague, but you know, spirits.
Right.
They're like that.
Mother Rat probably lives in the subway.
Mother Rat is all over the place in
We
all the
killed a rat
sewers.
once.
How rude!
He was
Why
kind
did
of being
why?
he was kind of being rude back.
Was it? Wait, was it talking to you?
Well, he was real tall and like a bunch of rats all mixed together, and he was wearing clothes and tried to kill us in the subway.
That wasn't related to Mother Rat. That was a ratkin.
Ratkin are related to Mother Rat.
Well, this one was Bane infested, so maybe not so much.
Oh, that's fine. I'm a little less mad,
All
but
right,
only a
so-
little.
So maybe Oliver can, you know, clue us in on some stuff. Maybe we can clue you guys in on some stuff.
I mean, I've lived in Garo society my whole life, so
Did Mother Rat tell you what she wanted?
no. That I was supposed to come here and find the Seekers. That was Jonesy. That she said find the Seekers or the Seekers will. I have a note here and it says Seekers will.
The seeker will be found.
The Seeker will be found. I was told that the seeker will be found, is what I was specifically told. But like all spirits and all things of the Umbra, they don't understand how context works. So the only context I got was the seeker will be found, go to the green.
That sounds very passive. It doesn't seem like we have to do anything if they're just going to be found.
I mean, could be. It also could be something that we just trip onto while we're doing something.
Naga, do you know anything about this?
I know nothing.
I dragged her along because I am helping her understand what little I know of the human world.
No, I was made to come along.
That too.
Well, I can appreciate one thing, it's her honesty.
It's going to be a ray of sunshine in this whole endeavor, isn't she?
She's going to be the best, the literal best of us.
I mean,
Arlon.
I seem to remember during our rite of passage, there was a lot of, why are we being dragged up to do this, from a couple of members of our pack who I'm not going to mention names of.
It's probably the old guy, right?
Not to let a good segue go by, Arlon, do you know of any other more spiritual places besides the park here in New York?
This is the main one, at least from our point of view. This is the main one. There are a few others that are closer to Gaia than others.
Well, if there's one thing that I picked up from spending time with Fia, it's that if the spirits are telling you that you need to be somewhere, there's probably a reason for it. So Oliver, if there's any way that we can help you, we're happy to.
Well, I would like to know more about human society. Most of what I know from it I got from TV. So what little grainy bit I could get.
I guess I could take you out for a hot dog.
Yeah, have you guys eaten yet?
I have not. That
Nog,
would be fantastic.
have you eaten?
I have like leftovers, but they're like a couple days old.
Yeah, I smelled that.
No, that's just me. I'm sorry. My deformity is not conducive to the greatest of personal hygiene.
Darren, do you mind hosting again so we can talk with our friends?
Yeah. I'll pick something up on the way.
So and cut to over. You go get some food, and you arrive at Darren's pad, which kind of becomes the go-to place that you guys gather over the next couple of weeks as you guys slowly start spending some time together and start learning a little bit about humans and human traffic and congestion and loud horns.
Oliver knows a lot of what he knows.
Naga from mauling somebody who cut her off in traffic.
Oliver knows a lot of what he knows about New York from SVU.
You
From
assumed
Law and
I
Order.
was driving. Why you went from like who I am to assuming that I would drive? Pretty sure you wrote a book about a character who doesn't drive.
It's okay, guys. We're gonna order some pizza, sit in, watch some Coming to America. You'll get the whole gist.
That sounds fantastic.
So we have a little bit of a montage going on of our young intrepid out of the city country guru visiting New York City.
Country guru.
So during the next couple of weeks, is there anything specific that you would like to try to accomplish, or other than just getting acclimated to the city and learning your way around and dodging your parents, Kennedy, and dodging your ex, Darren?
I'm kind of putting my ears to the ground, trying to see if I can get any information about anything called a seeker or anything weird supernaturally that's going to start happening in the city.
Certainly. For that, I will need a roll. Let me go and
Say on a similar note, Kennedy's probably been doing what little bits of research she can into finding out anything about the Fae, since apparently there's some fairy out there who has it in for her.
was wondering if that was going to come up.
Yeah.
I will go ahead and get bus passes for these two and see if we can get our Glasswalker buddies to get them a credit card so they can at least take
I
care of
promise
themselves.
you I'll lose it.
That's okay. That's why I put it on this metal chain, just like the 90s.
You can try all you want. My tribal flaw is terrible.
It goes on your belt loop like this, and it doesn't come off.
So, Darren, will you go ahead and make me a intelligence and investigation check?
I would love to do that. Difficulty 6?
Yeah, difficulty is going to be 6.
1 success. Oh, so I have a wound. I'm probably not wounded anymore.
You're
Yes.
probably not wounded anymore.
No. So with that, you do find out that there was at one point a bone gnar, a rather well-known, powerful elder bone gnar, Theurge of the Sept of the Green, known as Orson Graveseeker, who's gone missing and has been missing for several years now.
That's suspicious.
So, and they have sent several younger cubs and young Guru have gone on various umbral quests to try to locate Graveseeker, but they've not found him.
Did he disappear in the Umbra?
Yes.
Okay.
He was on an umbral quest and went missing.
Does that happen very often in Guru society?
God alone.
Not unheard of. Yeah, the Umbra is a very big place. But it's unusual that I mean there have been packs that have just gone flat out missing. I mean they've just now, to be fair, there are packs that have gone in the deeper parts of the Umbra into one of the Umbral realms and have not come back. Specifically, they've gone to Malpheus or some of the other not so safe places, which is expected. But not hearing word one way or the other about the fate of Graveseeker is a little unusual.
Well, in my apartment, I'm going to start setting up my crazy detective, like
Wallace
yarn, pictures, all the information I have on Orson.
So in other words, you're going to absolutely convince Oliver that everything he saw in SVU was accurate.
That's my job.
So, during the course of those few weeks, you guys have slowly getting to know each other pretty well. And Killian, you've started having some rather disturbing dreams that you don't really recall when you wake up, but they're leaving you kind of dragged and tired and stuff in the morning. Until about a month and a half, 2 months after the, almost 2 months after Oliver and Naga have arrived, you do go to sleep and trying to crash and get some rest because you haven't been able to. And as you do, your mind drifts off, and as you're slowly fading out, you start hearing click clock, click clock, click clock, click clock. Oh, it sounds like hoof prints on stone. And as it gets a little louder, you start hearing clack, 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 clack of metal going across stone. And it sounds, and as it fades in, you find yourself standing in a street, fog and encrusted street late at night. There's a big bright Galliard moon up above, and you're standing in that Victorian row house district again that you've had a couple dreams out in the past. This time you're wearing a long coat and have a bowler and have your trusty 6-shooter by your side. And this time, the other ones have been, you can see everything and everything, but everything always had that kind of fuzzy dream edges to everything. So you really got a clear picture, but it was still kind of a fuzzy picture. Tonight, everything kind of snaps in place, crystal clear. And you instinctively, your gut reaction is, this is more than just a dream. And you know that the name Vance comes to mind for some reason.
Vance. I don't remember buying this game. Let's see if... Oh, this doesn't feel like Goggles. This is some guru shit. Well, I guess I'll start making my way downtown.
And as you start walking, you off to the off down the aisle, the alleyway. Off in the distance, you hear a kind of a wolf cry of that you recognize as a call to gather.
What the hell? I'll start running towards it. Thank God Kennedy told me what that means.
And as you start heading towards a small abandoned area near the docks, you start you see a couple other people start coming out of the shadows, and as we cut into our flashback, will our other players who will be playing our illustrious characters during this flashback go ahead and describe, give us a physical description of what your character looks like. We've slipped into Killian's past life, one of his ancestors' past lives, and we are uncovering hidden secrets of what his family line has been up to. So, Alex, why don't you go ahead and let us know what your flashback character looks like?
Yeah. So, Haywood is a just malicious little malignant man, dressed very properly, very out of place here in this dusty old Wild West town.
Nope.
No. Are we in London?
Yes, you're in London. You're in
Werewolves
the docks.
in London.
Oh,
So,
Roll credits.
very properly dressed, but the well-tailored suit doesn't fit well. It seems like his body is a little misshapen, a little wrong. He has a handkerchief he keeps up near his mouth, and he has a very prominent cane he leans on. He's got very thin blonde hair and these sort of sunken in, luminous gray eyes.
Okay. And let's jump over to Aaron. What about you?
Anton Weiss is a gentleman with a goatee and a rather extravagant mustache. He is not terribly large. He's slenderly built, but he has a very quick light in his eyes and a bit of mischief to his smile. He looks fairly dapper, fairly good-looking man, dressed in a suit, not carrying any obvious weapons of any sort.
And Travis.
Agnes Clancy is a very a rather well-built woman. Looks to be more suited for like being a blacksmith than what women would be in a typical Victorian London. Likely at this point still has soot all on her from the forge. On her hip, she has a very fancy looking hammer that seems to have runes carved into it. And red hair that would like almost hints of being called referred to as on fire.
Awesome. And Liz, who will you be betraying in this portraying in this flashback?
I am Lady De Winter, and she's a very elegant woman. She is very full of life, so completely opposite of Naga. And she's dressed in a red dress, which kind of signals as her being a proper lady. And she wears one of those wide brimmed hats that has a veil that comes over her face. So she's kind of hidden, but you can still see through it. She has very fair skin and dark eyes with dark brown curly hair.
Awesome. So, as you approach Vance, you instinctively realize that the members that the people you see approaching you are members of this pack. That they all have known and worked with each other for quite a while. You still remember being Killian, but you're kind of having like memories, like someone basically like you read someone like the bio about this person, so you know things, but you don't really, the emotional connection quite isn't there.
This is also fuzzy. Hey, everybody.
Nice of you to join us, Vance.
Oh, you know me, always timely.
So, as the group of you gather, you see a gentleman walk out from one of the side streets. As he walks over, he is dressed very properly, has a very dapper, very well tailored suit, very expensive, with a nice formal evening attire and formal top hat, and carrying a cane. And as he walks up, I do have some word that we would like to share with you. Our mutual acquaintance, Leopold, has asked that you try to apprehend a young guru by the name of Marcel. It seems that Marcel has recently gone through his had gone through his first change quite a while back, and his parents hid him away and kept him locked in their lower levels of their basement for the last several years. And the young man has not adjusted well. They believed
Can't imagine why.
They believed he was cursed.
He was cursed.
Leopold would like to assist this young man if at all possible. So he has asked me to task you with finding and returning this young one to us.
Well, that doesn't seem beyond our abilities, but we've done business before, and you know how it goes. I'll stick out my hand.
What are we to do with the boy's parents?
I am tending to the parents. They're going to be taking a very, very, very extended stay elsewhere.
Do we have any information about where we might find this boy?
last we saw, he was heading towards Hampton Station.
Well, I suppose that would be the place to start then.
Wouldn't be a bad place.
How recently was he spotted there? I mean, it's only a train station, right?
He was spotted a few hours ago heading that direction. Given the hour, he seemed to be trying to avoid, well, interacting with any of the humans that are walking around.
Well, I suppose we should go find him before somebody else does.
Does he have any personal effects that we can track?
We do have access to some of his clothing, yes, if that would help give you a scent.
Okay. Take the clothes down to the station and we'll find your man, Marcel.
And with that, he's able to arrange for you to get access to the Marcel's clothes, so you can get a scent. Would you like to go ahead and make me a tracking roll?
Okay.
And that's going to be for tracking feet. We're going to use Wits and Primal Urge.
Wits and Primal. Okay, there you go.
What's the difficulty, Jonesy?
Difficulty is going to be 6.
I received 4 successes on that.
Sweet. So, yeah, you're able to get a good scent of Marcel and quickly track him to where you're going. As you approach, and he definitely was making a line for the train station. He did circumvent many of the main streets by using alleyways and side streets, and even a couple of rooftops to try to avoid crowds and people. But
How do we want to handle speaking to this child?
I will do it.
Of course, my lady.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want me to go into how I was going to do it?
I was
No.
more interested in are we doing this hard or easy?
Well, let's try with a gentle hand first. He is just a child.
Awesome. So as you approach, you definitely track him to Hampton Station. The station itself is currently full of people milling around. It's early evening, and several people are heading on the train to head back out to their homesteads for those people who don't live in the city. You do not see him milling about the crowd when you arrive.
Well, this is a crowded plaza. I don't suppose we can do any better. If y'all got any ideas?
Well, did anyone catch his scent?
I have an idea that might not rely on such a crude method.
Go on.
I'm going to take out Scrapper because he's a spirit, right? He can track down Guru.
Well, some depending, maybe.
I'll take him out and I'll say Scrappy here can bring any boy back to us or lead us to him. And it's just this spider made of scrap metal and barbed wire that I'm going to put on the ground.
Okay.
Scrapper, I need you to find this Marcelo fellow and lead us to him.
Okay.
How you stand that thing being around is beyond me. Looks like it was put together with barbed wire and pieces of trash you just found on the ground.
Now, don't insult him. That's valuable treasure.
Thank you, Lady De Winter.
So with that, the little cobbled together pattern spider that has seen many a better day. Kind of springs up on its little 7 legs and scurries around and scurries over to the train and climbs up onto the side of the train and starts 2 of its front legs start tap 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 tap, tap tapping on the train, the side of the train.
He's already aboard.
Well, I suppose we should get on board that train.
You see, Agnes, I believe that Scrapper is the antithesis of the statement, a good craftsman blames his tools.
Axe just looks at you just with the deadpan face, just being like, really? Really?
So with that, you arrange to get yourself on the train. The train begins to leave the station, heading north, away from the city, back to the countryside. As you quickly scurry through the train looking for Marcel, you do not see him. You haven't spotted him. Your last description was of a thin, pasty young man, probably in his late teens, early 20s, malnourished and wearing scraps of clothing. So he would definitely stand out. Even if he managed to arrange to get some new clothes, he would have still stood out.
Think he might be in the Umbra?
Could be. Though unless he's one of the Iron Riders, he might have a bit of trouble riding the train through it.
Well, I suggest some of us start checking the baggage compartments and some of us start checking the Umbra.
So who would like to make an investigation check for the baggage area and the
I can
back
do that.
end?
I can do an investigation check.
Not me.
Can I aid Anton? Is that something I can do?
Sure.
So what would that be? Perception plus investigation?
Yes, please. Difficulty is going to be 7.
Okay.
They've got the baggage area. The couple cars for baggage are pretty stuffed full.
Okay.
And do I need to roll anything to help? I don't remember.
How do you want to assist? Are you going to try to also just kind of search through stuff? Or are you going to try to
I'm going to do that obnoxious British thing where I just yell over his shoulder what to do.
Or were you going to? My other question was, or were you going to try to distract the staff so that he doesn't interrupt it?
I will try to distract the staff so he doesn't get interrupted.
Okay. Can you go ahead and make me a charisma or manipulation, your choice, depending on if you're trying to just schmooze them or if you're actually trying to just actually manipulate them. And subterfuge, yes. Thank you.
Also difficulty 7?
Yes. Because they're rather British.
Successes.
Sweet.
Successes, 2 10s.
So you go to the back area and quickly distract the couple of the staff that are working back in the area and allowing your ally to slip through into the baggage area to search.
All right. So while Haywood is distracting, I will search. And I get 2 successes.
Sweet. While those 2 are off to their shenanigans, what were the other 3 of you doing?
I am going to start moving through the train, seeing if we can't just find the person, sitting there.
Okay. Investigation and perception check.
Oof.
I was gonna do like doing the lady thing, striking up conversation with other ladies on the train. Because they notice those things.
True.
Certainly. So go ahead and make me what do I want you to make? I want you to make a test, but
On character sheet.
So why don't you go ahead and make me a manipulation and performance test, Liz.
Okay.
to see if you can get them kind of gossiping and telling you the dirt.
Any modification or difficulty?
Modifiers, no. There would be a difficulty of 6.
Okay. Did I do that right?
Looks like it.
Cool.
So how many successes did you get?
4.
Sweet. Yeah, you actually managed to get the rather proper ladies of the society who are on the train to kind of tell you who they need to speak to, and you basically start talking about, indirectly and like alluding to, like, did you see something odd or strange? And they basically tell you that shortly before the train left, which sounds like it was just before you arrived, that there was some sort of strange altercation with some of the conductors and crew, with someone trying to force their way onto the train up towards the engine. But the ladies weren't able to get much of a good look about what was going on, but there was definitely some sort of kerfluffle up that way.
Perfect.
So, and Travis, what did you get on your
I got
scanner?
1 success.
No.
I have no investigation.
Hey, no, that's all you need is 1 success.
There we go.
As you're going through, as you're cutting, you're going up towards so the other 2 went towards the baggage area and stuff, towards the back of the train, and you've gone up towards the front of the train. As you're going up and you're cutting near the edge of the end of first class area, you actually notice that one of the compartment hatches that gives access below the train has actually been popped open, and kind of and when it was shut, it wasn't shut very well, and so it's doing the clack 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 and
Just
bouncing.
like the waving.
Yeah, it's kind of bouncing a little bit as it wasn't quite. It obviously wasn't shut and sealed properly.
I'm gonna just kind of like pass by and then like try to go grab the rest of my pack.
Okay.
I don't want to find the kid and be like, I found him, and then like he realizes we found him, and like I've walked away to go get the rest of the pack.
Yep. So you're able to wrangle them all up. And what is
Pretty
Vance?
sure I found him.
And Vance, what are you up to? Was as your pack members come up towards you.
I'm just keeping an eye out, see if I see anything else suspicious. I just trust them to find any of the information, since they tend to be a lot more subtle than me. So, I assume I see Agnes walking towards us, trying to gather us up.
Yes.
So I'll walk up to her. What'd you find, Agnes?
I found one of the compartment doors that's just kind of like that was open, that doesn't look like it should have been.
Like a maintenance hatch?
Yes. And it looks like someone. It looks like someone like climbed in and they just couldn't quite figure out how to close it properly close it from the inside. And I didn't want to open it to reveal the person without at least one other person with me.
That makes sense. The boy's basically a cave troll. How would he pay for tickets?
Probably didn't.
I'll go get the Winter. Can you get Rand?
Yeah. Do you know where they went?
Oh, somewhere off in this direction.
Alrighty.
So the 5 of you all gathered back up, and I'm assuming, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm assuming you showed them all where the hatch that you're talking about is.
Yes.
So it looks like it's an access hatch that leads to a panel that you can access in either below the train, or you can actually there's a couple of rungs going up that you can actually use to access the roof.
So we don't want to spook him, and we don't want to get him killed under the train.
Right. Though, if he is like us, like we've been led to believe, he should be pretty fine, even if something does happen.
Well, yes, but
He might not know that. That's the important thing here.
Let's hope the boy
Um,
knows his name.
I can certainly go and scout ahead. I'm very good at not being noticed.
How many carts back are we from the main train, from the main engine?
For the main engine, you're about 4 back.
4 back.
Yeah, because it's the engine, and then there's 3 first class cabins, first class compartments, and then your the one that you're in right now.
Okay.
Seeing a classic Brian escapade.
No.
Cooking up.
Well, please let me go scout and see if I can see him without being seen. I do have some gifts in that direction.
Of course. And I'll lift up the hatch for the lovely lady.
I'm not a lady.
For the lovely gentleman.
Jonesy, I'm going to go ahead and use my Blur of the Milky Eye.
By all means, go for it. Your gift allows you to blur your appearance and make it hard for people to spot you. So
Correct. So that's manipulation plus stealth with a difficulty of 8. I get 4 successes. So the perception check to notice me is 4 higher.
Wow.
And then I'm doing dexterity plus stealth to actually be sneaky.
and now we know why this was one of Killian's go-to gifts.
It's a nice panic button.
Yep.
So good.
There is no seeing me.
Yep. And then 4 successes on the actual stealth roll as well. So
Awesome. So yeah, you kind of blur, and you actually kind of all see him just kind of fade out in front of you. Which are you going to be going tracking the hatch that leads under the train, or going up to the roof?
I think I'll go up first. If for no other reason than if he is up on top of the roof, that would presumably be easier for me to notice him.
Yes. So you quietly go up a couple of rails, rungs, and pop the latch to the roof, holding onto it with your arm pretty hard, because of course the wind from the moving train wants to lash it open. And up ahead, you see the bright gibbous moonlight glittering off the roofs of these metallic roofs of the carts, carriages ahead of you, the sections ahead of you.
Mm-hmm.
And you see what appears to be a gentleman laying on the roof, kind of hanging on for dear life.
All right. I will
a couple of the carts ahead of you.
Okay. I will kind of lower the hatch a little, look back down to my my pack, and give a kind of a whistle and go, he's up here. Who wants to approach him? He's hanging onto the roof, so I don't think there's any point in trying to do this subtly.
How well is he hanging on?
Still go up first.
Oh, he seems to be hanging on fine.
He's not
for
going
now,
to be subtle about it.
Well, DeWinter, you're up.
Hello, boy. I promise we're not here to hurt you. We're just here to gather some information. But it's a little loud. Do you mind coming over here?
And as you say that, he kind of snaps his head around. He's kind of still holding on. And as you look, you see he has actually managed to shift into Glabro form. So he's got glowing, kind of a yellowish yellow eyes, reflecting in the moonlight. He's got a much more bestial visage. He's got the fangs are overextended. He's actually got fur coming out from under the ragged, looks like bed clothing he was once wearing. And his claws are popped, and he's actually got one claw buried into the roof of the train. That's what he's holding on to dear life with. It's like, no, 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 you can't see me. You mustn't look at me. I'm a monster.
You are no more monster than we are. Do not be afraid.
I can't. I'm an abomination. I'm the spawn of the devil. No, please don't. I've tried to kill myself. It won't take. I don't know what to do.
We are here to help you.
He's just kind of shaking a little bit, and he's kind of frozen in place, and it doesn't seem like he's capable of moving. He's a train ahead of you, a compartment ahead of you. So.
Well, any other ideas? Don't hurt him. It doesn't seem like he really wants to fight back, so that's not really fair.
That is not fair at all.
I mean, we could show him that we are also like him. The top of the train is the most private place we're gonna get.
But I like this dress.
I mean, I can shift instead.
Is
Okay.
your dress not bound to you, my lady?
Not this one.
Ah.
I
She
can
has
go
a-
up and try.
She has a slightly more practical dress that's bound to her. A little more appropriate for multiple scenarios as opposed to.
More appropriate for long running and
It's her black tie dress, not her.
Or-
It's more
or
like the
actual-
undergarments that are bound to me, not, the dress.
Fair enough.
Because, like, think about it.
The only thing is, if he did just say that he believes he's of the devil, don't you think that approaching him in Krynos form is just going to convince him that we are others of the devil sent to collect him?
I mean, we're gonna have to get past that anyways at some point.
Fair enough.
And I wasn't thinking Krynos, I was thinking maybe going to Glabro.
Well, 6 of one, half dozen of the other. But
Correct. One of those is reasonably hideable if someone sees on top of a train.
fair.
One of them looks like a giant wolf, just like stalking the top of one. I will climb up to the top of the train and try to get the boys' attention.
Yep.
Hey, hey, hey!
Hey, fella.
And he kind of tries to bury his face as you look over towards him.
Are you okay?
You must go. I'm not safe to be around.
Why not?
I can't be here.
Well, you're here, so you. I don't know what you're gonna do about that, but like, what's wrong?
I am, and with that, you can see he's looking over towards looking over the side that he's glancing over to the side of the train, like maybe he's gonna bolt for it.
It's okay. We are here to help you.
There is no help for sinners like me.
We are like you. We are here to help. We can explain what's happening to you.
Go ahead and make me a. Expression.
Charisma expression.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out because you're being a little bit more, you're being honest with them. So yeah.
I'm trying to be honest and
Yeah.
and whatnot. I'm just glad you didn't say empathy because that's a terrible pull.
Jonesy, I have a guru question.
I have a guru answer.
Does Haywood think if he fell off the train it would kill him? Or
Uh,
just incapacitate him enough that we could just bring him home?
it probably won't kill him.
Diff 6.
Yes. It
I
may
got
not
three.
even it may not even incapacitate him.
We'll have to push him into something.
He's also in Glabro, which means he's even more resilient than normal.
Yes.
I got 3 successes.
Okay. So with that, he kind of, what do you? And he stops. He's kind of, at least for now, is not looking like he's going to throw himself. What do you mean you're like me?
I will take this opportunity to shift up to Glabro like him.
I'm not the only devil.
We're not devils. Your parents have a vast misunderstanding of what's going on.
I have the mark of the beast on me. I'm literally becoming the beast.
Well, aren't all people beasts in the end? We are born of our sins. We can help you. You just need to come with us. Things will be fine. And I'll shift back down to Hamid.
And with that, he starts slowly standing up and starts making his way towards you.
I will reach my hand out to help him across the incredibly fast-moving train.
And he's like, but how can I be helped?
Redemption can be found within all of us. Sin is not unfixable.
And he seems, as he gets closer and you help him over, he actually looks at the lady, De Winter, and it's like, kind of like, tries very much to try to hide his.
You do not need to hide yourself in front of us, and I'll help him down the stairs.
So, and with that, you guys manage to corral him, and the train pulls in the station, and you eventually make it so you meet it with your contact again, who arrives and says, "Oh, and thanks you for the help," and kind of informs you that he will make sure he gets to Leopold, and Leopold will get him the help that he needs. So with that, as he's saying all that, Killian, you kind of almost feel like clips are missing from the footage. So you seem to jump a little bit, and then you wake up the following morning.
I need to stop drinking this NyQuil.
Quit drinking my NyQuil.
Wait, I'm at Darren's house. Darren,
What is it, Riverdale?
what's for breakfast?
It's 12:30.
Maybe it's 12:30.
You slept in again, you lazy lie about.
12:30 a.m. or p.m.
PM.
Okay, that's not too bad.
I could grill you a cheese. Do you want a grilled cheese?
Yeah, sure. Give me a grilled cheese. I got a hell of a story for you.
Oh, I can't wait. Is this another one of those nightmares with Mila Jovovich?
No. It's different. I don't know if it's related to what we're dealing with, but I got a couple names to go off. Hey, didn't you say you had something about a past life too?
Yeah. It was some kind of medieval warrior storming a castle full of the worm.
Apparently I was a cowboy in London. Big iron on my hip and everything.
Who would have thought? Good for you.
Yeah, good for me. But we were rescuing some lost boy who had turned. You think
Rescuing
that
him from what?
himself? He had just turned and he just was running from his folks. Been mistreating him. Do you think we have to look for somebody?
Well, Oliver did say it would reveal itself.
Well, I guess I'll bring this up with them at second lunch.
Second lunch.
Um,
Is that after 11sies?
It's my 1:30.
it's breakfast, second breakfast, brunch, lunch, second lunch.
On Darren, I bought you this waffle iron. You don't even use it.
Don't know
It's
how to
not.
use a waffle iron.
It's
was
like
Melissa's
pancakes.
job.
You just put it into a mold. What are you talking about?
I don't eat breakfast. I drink donuts and smoke cigarettes.
We don't want to ask how he drinks donuts, but
yeah.
You put
I
them
mean,
in
I-
the coffee and you wait for them to break down long enough. You don't have to chew. 'Cause
I
you
mean,
need
there's
those
coffee
calories
flavored donut.
for justice.
There's coffee flavored, donut flavored coffee. So
That's why I don't
Being
use the
fair.
can at Darren's place. The place is destroyed half the time. Just runs through them.
uh, so so yeah, so that so you wake up, you guys arrange to meet up later that evening with the rest of the pack. Now, Killian, you do know that ancestry spirits and the like are very much kind of the forte of the theurges and spirit keepers of the tribes. So they might be the ones that have the best answers for you as far as what that might or may not mean.
Gotcha. So, wonder if I don't know. I'll check with Naga and Oliver first, and if we need to talk to Arlon, we can take it from there. But I will send out a text to the group, and I'm just gonna assume I got them both burner phones with minutes.
Sure,
this is the nicest thing I've ever owned.
You got them a cheap burner phone, and you got two of them apparently for Oliver because he's the one who gets stuck with both of them all the time.
Right, I
Um,
was gonna say because wouldn't
I was- Naga would just leave it on the bench or
Exactly, yeah.
wherever it was. Yeah,
Naga,
no.
I've only known you for a couple months. It's a toss up.
the
Couple months.
At some point, Oliver pulls out when you're like, "Oh, I got you a phone." He's like, "Oh, I have a phone." Pulls out a broken Nokia brick phone.
How did you break that?
Oh,
That's
it just kind of
impressive.
died. It's physically fine.
Oh,
It's because the damn thing's not supported anymore.
How did you even manage that, Oliver?
I grew up in a junkyard.
Well, at least that
Huh.
explains the smell.
I mean, I can get it to work.
You know what? Do it right now. Let me see it.
Okay. I will use the gift trash treasure and activate the phone. It literally just turns on with service and power.
Oh my God, Oliver, you and I are gonna have an amazing financial venture in the future.
I mean, it doesn't last forever. It only lasts for like an hour.
hey, people get out of the store in an hour.
That's true.
Wait, no, that's illegal. Just kidding.
I'm really good with cars in reality, but I can get anything just to kind of work for a bit again.
So, Oliver, you would say you're not uncomfortable digging through trash, right?
I am quite comfortable digging through trash. I've been told that at least one of my ancestors enjoyed the Great Trash Heap as a companion for a while. I've been told that I reflect garbage in the Umbra.
I'm very satisfied. We're about to sell a lot of broken phones to a lot of poor people.
It's fair.
Don't even try to give me one.
Oliver's the raccoon.
Hey kid, you want to
Keep
buy an
her-
iPhone 10? It's only $40.
Don't let Darren find out about that.
Whatever. Darren's got points in larceny. We're fine.
Ah. So,
Alrighty.
so with that, we're discussing their financial possible shenanigans they might be getting up to in the not too distant future.
We're
Yeah,
gonna be
they've
grift-
definitely come to New York. They found a grifter.
and welcome back.
Oh, kitties.
We are short one player. Liz did have to step away, and so she'll be hopefully will be feeling better soon. So with that, we're going to jump back in. Thank you for sticking with us through our quick break as we shuffle things and yes. Last so our pack was getting back together after Killian's rather disturbing dream, and he has sent up a text message to everyone about meeting up. With that, you also receive a message from Mother Larissa from the Sept, the oldest of the elders of the and the Bonar resident leader of the Sept of the Green, asking you to meet with them tomorrow night.
Ooh, prestigious.
So, with that, the pack will have a chance to get together tonight and discuss anything that they might want to go over or before the arranged meeting with the Sept-elders. Is there anything that you wanted to talk about or meet up and discuss before?
Killian and I might fill Oliver in on the dream, just to say, hey, this might have something to do with what you're thinking about.
It's
But I
definitely
don't think that has to be a scene.
Okay. So, you guys get together, you fill him in a little bit, and obviously, at some point, if you think about specific questions you might have to go over about that, just let me know. We'll jump into it. But you guys do kind of powwow, meet up, and share stories and stuff real quick, and then following night, you do arrange to get together to all meet over with the elders from the Sept of the Green. They pull you aside, and as they pull you aside to meet with them, it is Mother Larissa along with an elder Shadow Lord by the name of Demarcus, and Aklon is also there, the Stargazer elder.
And Demarcus was the one who sent us on like our little
Side quest.
rite of passage side
Yep.
quest.
Yes, Demarcus is the rather older, gruff Shadow Lord with a very heavy Eastern European accent that I cannot do, so I don't attempt to butcher it. Melissa is like, please come join us, as they pull you aside a little meeting area set aside. Come in, young ones. We have we'd like to discuss something with you.
We will enter, I guess. I'm assuming Naga is not with us.
No, she's currently meeting with a couple of the other Lupus. They're trying to give her, she's spending a little bit of time with some of the Lupus guru at this moment, just to kind of be around more of the proper number of feet people. So,
By all means, what do you need from us?
Well, we have a mission we'd like to send you on. It's rather important, but you were specifically asked for.
Asked for by whom?
By one of the Glasswalker elders. Does the name Victor Helms mean anything to you?
Does the name Victor Helms mean
I don't know, Jonesy. Does it?
You did meet him with Killian talked to him a few times. He was the one that you were texting back and forth with.
Oh,
And Killian, you're on mute if that matters.
that's a Killian problem then.
Looks like you're muted in Zoom, not that there's a problem with your mic. You have the little
There we
red.
There we are.
Yay!
There we go. That makes more sense. Yeah. That was the man I was texting back and forth when I was in the land of the north.
Yes. Yes. We've recently got word that one of our sept members was recently discovered. One of our theurges by the name of Graveseeker. He was a member of our tribe. You know, she kind of gestures to herself and to Oliver. He was a member of our tribe and rather skilled theurge, and we were quite concerned when he went on his emerald quest and did not return. It's been nearly 3 years since we've seen him.
Oh wow.
Yes, as you can imagine. It's hearing word now that he's been found is of great relief, but it's also quite distressing. He seems to be out west in Wyoming.
I mean, the Umber's a strange place, but that's quite a distance.
Yes. And the spirits who came to tell us that he had been found would not reveal more than that.
Was it Rat?
So I didn't catch your question.
I said, was it Rat that was the spirits that?
Yes, Rat sent some of her children to let us know.
Ah, I see. Rat is who told me to come down here to and said that's the seeker will be found. So this sounds like it is not a coincidence that all of us have had these previous meetings.
It does not sound that way at all. And the totems move in sometimes less than mysterious ways. But we would like you to travel out to Wyoming and find out what you can of Graveseeker's condition and find out what's going on. Given the spirit's hesitance to tell us any details, we would like this to be a little bit more of a less than formal inquiry, which is another reason we're asking your pack to go, as opposed to sending several of our elders through a moon bridge out there.
Is that to say that we are disposable?
More that you won't cause as many feathers to be ruffled if things go sideways.
Elders moving is always a gossip-worthy topic.
Out of curiosity, what was Graveseeker doing out there? What was his quest about?
It was a personal question. We do not know.
Personal. Do we have any information about him from before he left, from his former packmates?
Certainly. We get what we can arrange for some details. Just let us know what you'd like to know.
Okay. And how soon do you need us to leave?
We would like you to, if possible, to leave in the next day or two. We can arrange for a vehicle and expenses. So we rather you travel through the mundane world as opposed to through the the Umbra and the moon bridges, just in case something is upset or wrong with what's going on with. We don't want to tip our hat if necessary.
Gotcha.
Reasonable.
Are we just going to drive cross country, or should we take a plane?
Well, if we can arrange, if you drive, then you have a vehicle at your disposal.
It's a 29-hour drive.
Did you just
If
go
we
get that?
fly, we can get a vehicle at the airport.
It is
Yeah,
a known fact I've got an enterprise account.
Darren has
Exactly.
marvelous credit. He can get a car.
29-hour drive, 6.5-hour flight.
Hey, you know, it won't be too bad, Kennedy. If we walk there, it's only 619 hours.
Oh, is that all?
Hey, I've been running with FIA. I can probably do it in 500.
Well, I guess we'll buy some tickets.
I mean, I'm not sure how we're going to convince Naga to go on a giant metal flying plane.
We can get a crate.
That's so rude.
Well, if she doesn't want to play ball and shift, she'll save us ticket money. How much is a pet for carry-on?
I don't know, but a large wolf is going to be real problematic to get across into a plane.
Well, I need you to talk
Yeah,
to
we
your
would need
friend
like
and
an
get her to ship.
exotic animal license. That's a whole thing. I've got resources 3. I don't have resources
What if we
Tiger
just-
King.
We could just put emotional support on her, right?
I mean, all right.
We can't put
fine.
emotional support on a wolf.
Says who? That lady had a peacock. The other one had a squirrel. We could do it.
Neither of those are wild animals.
A squirrel is, but
They're passive.
well, that's fair. Perhaps a train, or fine. We can drive. It's fine. It's fine.
Do you think
Fine.
she's gonna go in the back of the car any easier than just gonna go on a plane?
I
Yes.
say we just drug her, and then take her.
Oh, so we're going for 18 like shenanigans, eh?
You
Hey,
understand? You understand how much drugs it takes to put one of us down?
Yes.
How much Benadryl
It's
do
a
we have to
lot.
buy to calm her down?
It's like an obscene amount.
And I understand that, and I'm willing to do this for the cause.
I've got like maybe 20 cents.
What do you say?
I'm not buying that much Benadryl.
What'd you do with your credit card? I gave you a credit card.
I told you. It doesn't do anything for me.
My,
The spirits don't like me having money.
well, I need you to talk to Naga and get her bipedal so we can get this 7 a.m. flight going.
Well, right now she's talking to the other Lupus, so there's nothing we can do about trying to convince her,
World of Darkness is the best setting.
isn't it? Just a bunch of werewolves talking about cross-country travel and the problems of it.
This is a problem. Wait till you get to the vampires.
Hey,
Yeah, at
don't
least
you
we
know
can
in
travel
World
during the day?
in World of Darkness, airplanes travel 24/7. The
In-
vampires have paid enough people to get it to travel at night.
In World of Darkness, Delta Airlines is owned by vampires. That's why it's so shitty.
That checks out.
I'm sorry, Delta, sponsor us.
With that, yeah. So you make your arrangements to travel. Are you going to be traveling? And so are you going to be traveling by air or land?
If we're traveling by land, none of you are in charge of the radio.
We should probably travel by land. Werewolves are notoriously bad with the curse, and in small settings, it is really bad that people are not gonna like us. Air travel is pretty bad for our kind.
You don't want to go Krynos and Frenzy and at 50,000 feet?
Oh, that would be fine. No one's. It's the Hayabusa school of stealth. If no one's alive to see me,
What is wrong with everybody? I just took a flight for Thanksgiving. What do you mean murder everybody on the sky bus?
I think
You're
it's more
not
about whether or not Naga's going to frenzy.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, we should not take Naga on the plane.
Okay, well, I guess
Hey,
we're
and
taking
it-
Coming this fall, grew on a plane.
a 29-hour car ride will be great to get to know each other and learn my spell.
No,
Darren,
none
is
of
your
you guys
crit-
are talking the whole way. We're listening to my Neil Gaiman audiobook the whole way.
Oh my god, that's even worse. We could just frenzy on the plane, actually. Darren, is your credit good enough to rent an RV?
Probably.
Because if we're going cross country, we might as well commit.
So season 2, welcome to the road trip.
Car road trip.
I'll rent an RV if I can.
Sure. They had a Jeep signed was set up for you, but they can upgrade it to an RV if you rather have an RV.
We need somewhere in the back for Naga to lay down.
We'll
That
get some.
totally-
We'll get some like AstroTurf.
We'll get a mounted LMG just in case.
I don't think they sell those at Enterprise.
we'll pick you up.
I don't think they. I don't think Enterprise does RVs.
With that, the shenanigans have ensued. You have arranged for transport, and you spend the next couple days
30
Right.
hours.
driving across country to Wyoming.
Oh,
The
man.
great state of Wyoming.
I'm sorry if you're from Wyoming, but we shouldn't be going here on purpose, guys.
This is really not how I ever expected to be seeing this country.
New York. What is that? We go through a lot of states, including by Chicago.
I suspect we divert around Chicago.
We can do Columbus and Indianapolis and Pittsburgh.
We can't go to Ohio. We'll get stuck if we go to Ohio.
Well, that's what happens. when you
Well,
build
that means we have to go through Virginia and Kentucky.
Let's go through Ohio.
That's what happens when you build a Chingling city and where
Look, I've watched a lot of American television. Everybody is from a small town in Ohio.
Or a small town in Maine if you're in a horror story.
Well, right, yes.
And
But
everyone's an author.
if you went to the big city, if you went to New York or LA, you came from a small town in Ohio.
Me too, Declan.
The only thing Wyoming's got is national parks and it's the least populated state. So if you don't like people, come to Wyoming.
Naga's gonna love it.
All this elk to hunt.
So, with that, you make your way out. You travel across country for a couple days, seeing some sights along the way, and getting to know your fellow guru.
We definitely go and see Carhenge in Nebraska.
What is Carhenge? I want to know what that is.
It's real, and it's a Stonehenge made
It
out
is
of cars.
exactly what it sounds like.
Oh my lord, it's real. Everybody Google it.
The Bonar and the Glasswalker are super hype about this.
Oh my
And of course,
God.
Kennedy's standing back and going, I've seen the actual one. It's much more impressive.
Well, you've seen the real Carhenge, Kennedy?
No, the actual Stonehenge. Have to get.
I mean, those are just stones. This is cars.
Are they even
Right.
real cars? Or are they cars carved out of stone?
They're actual cars that were craned into being in position.
No, it's ridiculous.
America is a wonderful, terrible place.
Guys, look at this pamphlet. It said back in the day, Ford F-150s used to gather around the full moon.
Oh,
And this is how we get Glasswalker Karens.
And that's the only good thing in Nebraska, by the way.
it's times like this I really miss Fia.
Anyway, so you make your pit stop in Nebraska to see Carhenge and continue on your way. And as you you have been given a location. You do have it's not just someplace in Wyoming. You've actually been given a location to go to, an address to go to, from the elders. And the elders have been able to give you kind of a brief what they know about Graveseeker is that he's relatively quiet, but well respected. Was expecting to be a giant. It was expected to be a major elder in the tribe. Before he went missing, he was kind of a protege, and the like. So they had some high expectations of him. He is well liked and well respected from his tribe, but also among the Glasswalkers and several of the other tribes, including Silverfangs and Shadowlords, which is a little unusual.
That's very weird.
Yeah, but given his reputation and his skill, he had managed to earn their respect, and not just in a formal, basic, but actually they've actually talked highly of him, not just a oh yeah, he's a elder Bonar. So as you follow directions, you kind of make your way. You basically leave the main highways behind and start moving to some of the side streets and stuff. It's late in the evening when you finally are closing in on your destination. According to GPS, it's a small ranch house out in the middle of nowhere. And as you are driving along, the sun is going down, and you're kind of going to that 2-lane road. And then you turn off the 2-lane road into a long stretch of gravel pathway. As you're going along, you see little ruts on the side of the lane that you're on. It's a one car width lane. Your RV is basically barely fitting on this lane. The slight swerve one way or the other, and you're off in the ditch on either side of it. Couple trees line the edge of the road as you're going down. The sun is going down, and so it's got the reddish cast to the sky behind a rather looming farm home as you approach. The house itself pulls into the road kind of leads into a gravel drive area in front of a 3-story large building, kind of weathered and old, but still well maintained. It seems to have 2 main stories, kind of rectangular shape as you're approaching it. So as you're looking up towards it, you see the light on the front porch, and it's got the big double doors, and it's got the wings go to the west and the east of the main doors. It's a 2 stories, and it has kind of a half story, 3rd story in the middle section of the building.
This place is fancy.
Hey guys, guess
Too
what?
fancy. What?
Even though Wyoming is landlocked, it has 32 islands in it.
Does Wyoming know?
I regret buying you that tourist pamphlet at the gas station.
It came with this hat, man. The hat says, "Why am I in Wyoming?"
And it's just the WY. Why am I in Wyoming?
I hope they make those.
Well, it looks like Naga's still sleeping in the back.
We'll just let her sleep for now. The drive probably took a lot out of her.
Aaron, I can't believe you made it the whole 29 hours.
I was a cop. Staying up is kind of my thing.
Wait, did you do like stakeouts and stuff?
All the time.
Oh, that must have been boring.
Aaron's a terrible cook. You can't make a steak for none.
Not that kind of steak, Riverdale.
So.
I mean, they weren't the most exciting thing in the world, but they were necessary.
You have that conversation as you're going down the little path.
Mhm.
The gravel goes into a circular lot area. There are currently no other cars parked up front. Like I said, the sun is going down, so it's kind of like that's that reddish sky. And as you pull in and park, the front door of the home opens up, and a woman steps out.
Oh,
Hello.
Evening, ma'am.
Greetings. Are you staying? Are you slowly disembarking from your land yacht? I mean, your RV.
Yeah, I'll disembark.
where do you want to throw the anchor, Captain?
Behind the wheels, obviously.
I'll put the emergency brake on. We'll pile out.
Yeah.
And as you pile out, she kind of steps out off the steps, comes towards your direction to greet you. Greetings, Steps the Green. I am Gretchen Valkenberg, and welcome.
Nice
Pleasure
to meet you,
to meet you.
Gretchen. I'm Darren.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you. I'm Oliver.
And she says the handshakes.
Which sept is this again?
It's not.
We would have felt the bond if we stepped across one.
Yes, that's not a sept. You're correct.
What do
But
Guru
we
who
were
aren't in a
expected.
sept do? they're just free agents.
Basically, yeah. Or they have a sept nearby.
Nearby Wyoming? I doubt it.
I mean, nearby in Wyoming's probably like within 100 miles.
That's still Wyoming, I think.
I also like how we're insulting the state in front of the person who lives here.
As an Ohioan, that is not a problem.
Please come in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You must yes, please let me go ahead and get you some food, and you must be hungry and tired. It's quite a travel from the Sept of the Green all the way out here.
It's 30 hours
Rhythm
driving. That was before we stopped. Had to detour for Carhenge.
I'm going to show her the group picture we took. I hope Carhenge is the Moon Gate, Nebraska.
It can be. we can write that sucker up and share it with our viewers.
That's the most Nebraska thing ever.
Right.
Oh, come on. Can you honestly tell me that Carhenge is not a Bonar sept? Really?
There you
100%
go.
is.
I mean, that's so.
If it's not, I'm disappointed. Yeah, please come in. I'm sure you're all full of all sorts of questions about who we are and what we are and everything. And she takes you inside.
We go inside.
Something happened on roll 20.
Uh oh. We have a building.
Oh no, that's
There's
never a good sign.
Not a
I
map.
have no idea what you're talking about.
Remember the last time 5 pups went somewhere that they weren't supposed to be and they got murdered?
It wasn't us, but I was pretty close. Oh yeah. I wonder if
Uh-oh.
people are
We're not
still
upset
upset about that. You just don't smooth stuff like that over.
So as you enter into the double doors leads to a small little foyer entry way. To the side is a desk that's actually set up to face the front door, where someone can sit behind it and greet people as they come in. And directly past that is a set of stairs that lead up and then arc off to the left. so they can go up to the second floor. There is 2 archways leading out of the the entryway over to the east and west wings of the building. As she leads you in, she actually step over towards the over to the west wing. So as she goes around the edge, there's a big table set up with multiple chairs, a big round, looks like dining table or meeting table. That, please, by all means, have a seat. Let me go ahead and arrange to get some food for you.
We appreciate that. We've been on the road for a couple of days.
So, do you think this lady's on the level, or?
I mean, seems like it. She knew that we were coming and where we were from.
But did the elder tell anybody we were coming?
I
Not
assume so.
not that you're aware of.
I assume it's some kind of magic guru thing. Makes my skin itch.
I mean, spirits move. The Umbra is a strange place. Distance is not the same amount across vast distance across vast area is not the same, especially for spirits.
So
Sure, but
Wouldn't be a
At the
very
same time-
solid mystery if the first person Graveseeker met out here was the one who abducted him, would it?
True.
After a couple moments, she steps back in with a tray full of with a couple pictures of tea and looks like some snacks. She brings it over to the table and sits it down. By all means, I can get you something else too if you rather. This is what was easily handy though.
That won't be necessary, ma'am. Thank you.
Certainly. I did want to point out that we do have a guest facility. If you do want to crash here this evening, we would be honored to have you as our guests.
It's neighborly of you. Thank you.
I mean, we certainly appreciate your hospitality, but how did you know to expect us?
We keep an eye out, and I have friends.
And that answer vague and unconvincing.
8-Ball says vague and unconvincing. But this is our home and our facility. She seems very like stressed, but not like in an anxious, scared way, but more just like I have to do the big presentation before the bosses kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
She's on edge.
Gretchen, I don't suppose you had any contact with Mr. Graveseeker when you came through here, did you, Orson?
Yes, I know why you're yes, I know why you're here. And I do have some bad news. He's not the person he used to be.
Wait a minute, you know where he is?
He's here in our facility.
Oh,
He suffered a great trauma, and well, he's not quite right, but yeah. I guess I should start at the beginning. My name is Gretchen, and our facility is here to help those who of the blood who need, well, who break, who need help.
you tell me this is a psych ward?
Werewolves?
Werewolf?
That's I guess that's one way to put it. But yes, I am a psychologist, and I do what I can to help those who've suffered great trauma and try to help them.
Why didn't you tell anybody this is where he was?
We didn't know who he was. recently our scout that aids us, Strider by the name of Lucian, um, he came across him and brought him to us. You know him as Graveseeker, but we know him as Orson Gravely. And
Gravely.
yeah, and like I said, his mind is not what it once was.
Does she smell like kin?
Yes.
Okay.
So me and the others that work here do what we can to assist.
How long has he been here?
A few months.
We were under the impression he's been missing for a couple years, right?
We Lucian recently found him in the Umbra, and when he found him, he brought him to us.
And not to sound rude, but who do you guys report to? Or are you just kind of independent?
Well, I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Are you organized by the Seps? Or are you doing this out of the goodness of your own hearts?
I guess I should be rather upfront. I'm not Guru.
Is there a guru in charge of this facility?
No, I'm in charge of this facility.
And how did you get into the business of taking care of traumatized werewolves?
It's sort of our family thing.
You guys been doing this a long time?
Various members of my family have, yes. Some have been gurus, some have not. I'm merely just kin.
Oh, what's his state been prior to our visit?
Well,
has there been any change in his state?
Yes. When he first found him, Lucian brought him to us because when he first found Orson, he was wrapped in a fetal ball, giggling and whimpering, and he couldn't control his changes. He would shift, but only parts of his form would shift at a time in various degrees. And Orson seemed to be out of it and was unable to know what was causing it. Now, Lucian, our scout, is quite adept at his abilities, and when he came across Orson, he did do his due diligence to see if there was any corruption clinging to Orson, and we couldn't find any sign of worm corruption at all on him. And so Lucian managed to coax him into recovering and to responding, and he was able to bring him out of the Umbra. And then he brought him here, where we immediately began treatment.
How has Lucian been since then?
Lucian is quite well. Yeah, he's been still assisting us, looking for those poor unfortunate children that are lost or need help. It took us quite a while to get him to speak coherently enough that we'd even found a name. He was able to give us a name. The name he gave us was Orson Gravely. We just recently found that he is known by your Sept as Graveseeker.
More than our Sept knows him as Graveseeker.
I don't suppose we could have a chat with Lucian, could we?
Oh, certainly. I'd be happy to introduce you to Lucian and all the staff. There's not many of us, but.
Well, I would ask you what the spirits have been up to recently, but I don't know if they would reveal themselves to kinfolk. At least the spirits in this immediate area. or is there a lack of spirits in this immediate area?
Well, in you mean in general or in our home and in this facility? And
Just around the facility and around the area. Lucian
Well-
found him in the Umbra.
well, Lucian found him in the Deep Umbra, so there's plenty of spirits around. But here in our specific facility, we don't have that many spirits active in an attempt to keep the other patients calm. Some react badly and initially until we're able. We have been able to cure many of them and help many of Guru find balance and join society.
What's usually the problem?
It varies. I mean, we currently have a number of patients right now besides Orson. If you'd like to see them, we can arrange it. I'd say I could take you to Orson now, but it is getting near dark and he can become rather stressed at dusk, evening,
At night.
mostly.
I can only speak for myself, but I think we should probably save interacting with the patients until tomorrow during the day.
Seems like a reasonable idea.
Makes sense.
Have the other patients had any reaction to his presence here?
Oh, we keep them away from some of the other. We keep the cells around him empty.
Was that a
As-
standard precaution, or was that because something happened when he first arrived
He-
here?
He's a little bit more violent than some of the other patients have been. So we just don't want to cause undue stress for anyone, whether him or other patients.
Hmm.
Um,
All right. Well, then I guess we will take our time tonight, and we'll see you in the morning.
okay.
I do try some of her food, by the way.
Oh, it's really good.
Okay, good.
It's really good.
Kennedy,
It's- it-
Riverdale, do you guys have anything you guys want to ask Gretchen?
Huh?
Nothing
Think of
comes
some,
to mind.
Well, back to the ship I go.
Um,
We'll turn in for the night and see you tomorrow, Gretchen. Work for you?
certainly. We do have a facility that you can stay at if you like.
I think we're okay in the RV if that's all the same to you.
Very well.
I would like to talk to Lucian tonight before we turn in.
Certainly. And let me go gather him. Is there any of the other staff that you'd like to speak with, or
Are you the doctor who's working with Orson, or is there another person who's working closer on his case?
well, I mean, I would be the there's, like I said, it's a rather small staff. I am the main person, but I mean, we do have others that help around the facility.
Do you have a nurse?
We do have a couple of orderlies and nurses. Yes.
Well, whoever sees him at night when he's violent, I'd like to talk to them as well, if that's all right.
Certainly, that would be the orderlies. Yeah. And so, and with that, you do hear movement in the building itself. You do hear other people moving around and walking around, things like that. So it's not like it's a completely abandoned building being all creepy. It's actually active and stuff.
On an abandoned mental hospital?
Not an abandoned mental hospital.
I thought this was real horror.
I mean, even the occupied ones give me the willies.
That's true.
I was a patient transporter at the OSU psychiatric hospital, and that was always a fun experience.
Oof.
So, yes. So, unless you say otherwise, unless you do something otherwise, Gretchen's going to walk away for a moment and go to get the others.
What do you guys think?
So you guys do have a few minutes to talk amongst yourselves if you want.
Seems a bit weird.
I think it's strange our elders didn't tell us that's what this place was.
Are you certain that they're aware of it? Sounds like these people do this kind of independently.
Well, I haven't been a guru for very long, but everything I know about our society is nobody does anything without permission.
Well, they're not the guru.
She's not, but her family was.
Yep. It is atypical. That's for sure.
I'm not too quick to trust anybody, especially with all this magic crap.
Oh,
Yeah.
what's got you willy jillies about magic?
Willy Jillies. Oh, I remember a long time ago when we were told we were going to just go take our tuning exams. And then a bunch of Wendigo tried to kill us. And then the magic spirit Wendigo tried to kill us. And then a whole den of bees, of spiral dancers tried to kill us. And then nuclear waste tried to kill us. So I'm a little skeptical all the
A lot of
time.
things tried to kill us.
A lot of things tried to kill us.
Riverdale, do you think you could get into their computer systems remotely?
Let me see. Is there Wi-Fi here?
Yes, there is Wi-Fi. And as you're checking to see if there's a Wi-Fi, and there's a Wi-Fi password that is required, a young man kind of walks in the room. He looks like he's in his late 20s. He's got jeans on, and he's kind of got a t-shirt on, kind of a flannel thrown over it, unbuttoned, open flannel over it. And he comes walking and says, "Oh, greetings. I'm Lucian. You must be the visitors from the Green."
I'll stand up and shake his hand.
He looks vaguely familiar to you.
Darren, have we met before, Lucian?
Possibly. Do you know Fia?
Yes, we do.
Yeah. Me and a few others helped spread word when you were. You must be the pack that was up north, that uncovered the Talon. Yeah. Me and a few others kind of spread word about what was going on and helped make sure everyone knew.
That was kind of you.
So,
have you heard word from Fia?
I heard she was over studying with some of the other elders for our tribe.
But you work here now. Have you?
Well,
worked here
I've been here for a while. I've been helping Gretchen for quite a while.
How long's a while?
I guess 2.5, 3 years.
That's a fair bet.
Yeah. Mm. And I guess you went to go get a couple of the others, Harry and Dan, I believe. A few minutes later, Gretchen, unless there's something else you guys want to ask him specifically, if you want to slip it in before he has anyone else has a chance to walk up.
Yeah, I'm going to ask him the same question I asked Gretchen. Who do they report to? Who knows about this place? Who keeps this place going?
Well, Gretchen keeps the place going. I mean, it's kind of her life's calling, I guess you can say. And I believe in what she's doing, so I do what I can to assist. We do have some allies in nearby Sept, if that's what you mean.
I'm just wondering why it seems like such a big secret. I mean, Sept of the Green didn't know anything about this facility.
Well, I mean, there are those among the Guru who well would disagree with what we're doing here.
Disagree with taking care of our packmates? Or is something else going on?
Disagree with tending to those who are
Tending.
sick.
Right.
And Kennedy, if you want to elaborate on that, feel free to.
Right. So, there's that whole bit in the litany about do not suffer thy people to tend thy sickness. There's certainly a belief that it's better to let those who aren't able to take care of themselves to be culled from the pack rather than to be a drain on the resources of others. It's a very human thing to think that we should try to rehabilitate and bring people back, and not all Guru believe with it.
Darren looks visibly upset about this information.
That does make sense. Some of us are animals first.
Yeah. So not entirely surprising that it's not something that they all agree with. Disturbing, but not surprising.
Yeah, and then with that, Lucian adds in, yeah, there's those who would kill people like Orson when they found him, without even thinking about it. So we refrained from telling the Sept of the Green once we realized he was Graveseeker from your Sept until we could better assess if we can actually get through to him. We seem to be helping, so.
What are the treatment techniques? Are you privy to that information?
Most of it is, well, talk.
So like therapy and sitting on a couch and talking about your mother.
A little bit of that, yeah.
Psychoanalyze werewolves back to their happy place? That seems
For those
Like
who we can. I mean,
like an
if those,
impressive talent.
for those who we can't, we try to find more humane alternatives than letting them be killed by other Guru.
You euthanize anyone here?
Never since I've been here. Never that I'm aware of.
So you go around our societal norms to
help people.
but you're still spitting in the face of our society, of our people, of my tribe specifically, of his tribe.
Well, I mean, if we want to get technical about it, doesn't the very existence of Metis defy the litany?
No, it is the act that creates us is the breach of the litany, not us. I am not born of sin, of that sin. I am born of that sin. I'm
of a mind that we should protect and serve everybody in our community, but I guess I'm the one Guru who lives in a society.
So there's many debates to be had by many older Philodoxes that are way above my pay grade. So
that you keep hidden from them so they can't have those debates.
I'm sure they have those debates all the time. And it's not like this is the first time anyone's helped anyone. And like I said, we do have nearby allies among the Guru who believe in what we're doing.
Come on, Oliver. We don't need to Bible thump too hard.
There's a lot of gray area on interpreting the litany.
Who wrote this litany? That's what I want.
Gaia did.
Well, at least
and
we know
handed
where
it down via the spirits.
And we
In
have
Darren's atheist detective brain, he's like, yeah, okay, sure. But
Yeah.
then Darren knows that spirits are real. So
Oh. the most hilarious thing in World of Darkness, an atheist.
Um,
I'll reserve judgment.
there are, and they're even among those of your tribe at the Pure Heart Sept that agree with what we're doing here.
I believe it.
Well, I'm not here to bust your balls about taking care of people, as long as that's what you guys are doing.
That's our mission.
What spirit led you to Orson and the Umbra? Or did you just find him on your own?
I sheer luck, actually. I stumbled upon him.
Do you think you could take us back to the place you found him? Not right now, but in the future.
I think I could, but it's rather desolate wasteland. I wouldn't recommend going there. It's in the deeper parts of the Umbra and near the roads that lead to, well, rather dark spots.
Well, Orson was on some kind of spiritual journey when he went missing. So, whatever he's looking for, whatever did this to him, is probably something we should investigate.
Certainly. I can understand that. And with that, Gretchen walks back in. Following behind her are two gentlemen wearing white orderly uniforms. One is a kind of a kind and friendly looking larger man with strawberry blondish hair and beard stubble. And then also with him is another gentleman. It looks like he's of Native American descent, wearing a long sleeve shirt. And he's got his long hair pulled back in a loose ponytail. This is Harry and Dane. They're two of the nurse orderlies that assist us.
Nice to meet you, Dan and Harry.
And with that, they go to shake your hands. Greetings.
Are they Guru too?
Do you ask?
If I could smell it, I'd like to smell it. Is it impolite to ask?
So, are you looking for an etiquette way of introducing yourselves? Are you asking? Is that what you're?
Yeah, I don't know what the proper.
So, if you were to introduce yourself and say, I'm Darren of the Get, then they might be inclined to let you also respond that way. So,
It is generally good practice to return the same greeting that is given. So if you're like, give your whole introduction, they should be doing it as well.
I will give my whole introduction.
So with that, when they introduce themselves, they're going to shake your hands. Harry McReady of the Fianna. Pleased to meet you. And then he shakes around and like, and the other guys. And I'm Dan Skyseeker of the Wendigo.
Oh, we had a run-in with some Wendigo recently.
Darren, I don't think that's something you want to bring up, but it's nice to meet you.
Well, welcome. I heard you had some questions about Orson.
Yeah, mostly standard stuff. His temperament, his treatments, if you're allowed to provide those with. I don't know how HIPAA works around here.
I think we're still trying to figure that one out. He kind of chuckles at that. As far as his treatments, those are overseen by Gretchen. She's the doctor on staff.
Mostly curious how he progresses through the evening. Gretchen mentioned he was violent. I don't know if you could elaborate.
Certainly.
If he has any ebb or flow, any relation to the moon phase, any sort of anything he may scream in the middle of the night as he rends his throat asunder with bloody hoarse yells.
Not specifically. So the medical staff is down to Me and this Harry speaking. Me and Dane are kind of the orderlies and nurses. Uh, Leslie is our veterinarian. Obviously, you met Gretchen. She's our chief medical personnel. And then Mary is our chief nurse. And we kind of split shifts and stuff. So there's always someone on call. We have a few other staff members, but they're more operation stuff. Now, as far as how he behaves throughout the night, he can be docile most of the time during the day, and that's when obviously we do his sessions and stuff like that. Well, when Gretchen does the sessions, and tries to coax him out. As far as at night, that can range quite rapidly. He can go from quiet to sedate to screaming and yelling, talking in voices.
You ever talk to the same voice?
Occasionally, he does seem to suffer from multiple personalities. Some of those can be quite violent, and that they tend to rear up during the night. And Gretchen's like, and we can go into full detail tomorrow if you like. I can let you know what we have kind of identified so far.
That sounds great. I'd especially like to know how he's reacting to the treatment during the day. If his conditions improved at all. I mean, I know he's told you his name, but
well, when Lucian first discovered him, he couldn't communicate at all. He was and couldn't move. He was in a fetal form, and totally unable to control his shifting. Different parts of him would shift rapidly at different rates. Since then, he can assume a form, and he can communicate, and he can discuss with us, and so we definitely feel like we're making great strides, but there's still a long way for us to go.
before I turn you over to the others, do you guys have a pharmacist on staff? Do you guys prescribe drugs? Do you guys have any sort of treatment beyond psychoanalysis?
We don't prescribe any drugs.
Do you use any magic rituals, any gifts, any anything beyond the speaking therapy, any occupational therapy?
No, we do not.
What do you guys think? I'll look back at the pack.
I think we've gotten a good amount of information. The follow up tomorrow, we'll probably seal our deal for what we need to do. There's
Seems
actually
like they're trying. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no. Go ahead, Oliver.
I said it seems like they're trying. That's all.
Yeah.
Well, if there's nothing else, folks, I think we're happy to turn in this evening.
Very well. Yeah, we can definitely yeah. Yeah. She seems like she's not quite. She's like, what do I do now?
Once we
can
get settled in, is it okay if I come and observe for the evening, see how Orson does?
Yeah.
Just hang out with Dan and Harry wherever they hang out for their shift.
They usually are upstairs during their shift. You can, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. But like I said, that he can get quite worked up at night. But by all means, no, you can if you want. Definitely, I understand. Can you get me a perception subterfuge roll?
Oh, can I? I can roll it. We'll see what happens. What's the difficulty?
Um,
Don't bullshit a bullshitter, lady.
no, sorry. Let's actually switch that up. Let's do perception and investigation. Difficulty 7.
3 successes with 2 10s.
Yeah, she definitely she has alternative motives.
I will just inform her that I have no intention of interacting with Mr. Graveseeker, but I would just like to take my own notes for how his condition goes through the evening. You won't even notice I'm there.
Very well. By certainly all means. Actually, and with that, she leaves the room for a moment and comes back and hands you a keychain with a key on it. This is the key to the front door. So you and your pack can come in and go as you please. To show that
appreciate your
to show you that we have nothing to hide.
Yeah, I appreciate your show of trust. We just want to make sure he's okay and see what he was looking for.
So, well, unless there's something else you want to speak about, I do have a few other things of work I need to try to finish up before this evening.
No, by all means, we don't wish to keep you.
So, at any point, if you need to talk to me, I'll be up for a couple more hours. My office is upstairs, top floor.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
So with that, Dan and Harvey like, oh well, we're gonna go back to our rounds too. But if you need us, just let us know. Just yell. It's not that big of a place. We'll hear you. I kind of like chuckle when he says that and walked off. They both head towards the stairs to go back upstairs. Lucian's like, well, if you want, I can give you the quick 2-cent tour. It's not much, but
Sure.
Certainly.
Yeah, sounds good.
So obviously this is kind of our little makeshift dining area right over there, and it kind of points to the big double doors across the way from you. That goes into the kitchen. The other door next to it, and points a door across a little space between the kitchen and what would be the wall between the main entryway and into the rest of the building. There's a door leading out to the back of the buildings. If you go out that door, you head back towards the staff quarters and to the pin and the rest of the grounds. And then over here, it kind of points to, kind of gives you a kind of goes down the west wing. It's like we have a little lab right here. We have a nurses, and points to the on the right door, and then the back far right door is Keating's office, and then across from that's where we keep the medical storage, and then that would be the nurses station right here next to the dining area.
When you say lab, do you mean like a place to run samples, or do you mean
Yeah,
lab?
Yeah, just the basic lab work.
Seems cozy.
And then down the other way is and he takes you across from the main entranceway into the other archway that leads off to the other side of the building. Into a large, what looks like a reading area. There's a couple of bookshelves full of books. There's some nice comfy chairs, the couches. This is kind of our relaxing reading space. And then we've got Johnny's office right there on the left, across from Victor's office. And on the far side, we have our library, our files, file room, library room. And then we have our janitorial room supplies.
Where does the therapy take place?
Usually, she discusses. Depends on the patient. Either she discusses with them in their cell themselves, or up in her office. Orson, we keep him in the cell because he can get. Same with the brothers. They can kind of get a little high strung sometimes, but
Oliver patiently listens and takes note of the whole building.
I'm just gonna kind of hope the tour gets wrapped up here so we can go back into the RV.
so yeah, that's pretty much. She shows you like the ground floor, and it's like, and upstairs we have the patient rooms and stuff. But I figured you'll probably want to go. Gretchen will kind of show you those tomorrow when you talk to Orson and stuff. And then Gretchen's office, like I said, is just straight up, literally just up the stairs on the 3rd floor. This is the
All
only
right.
thing.
Well,
It's the only thing on the 3rd floor.
All
well,
right.
thank you for the tour. I think we're gonna go probably turn in for the night.
Okay. Well, if you need anything, just let us know.
Can do.
We sure will. Next sanitary.
And with that, you leave the building.
All right.
Yep.
And go out to the RV, which is parked out front. Is there anything that you would like to discuss now that you're out away from prying ears?
Once we're aboard the RV, I
Yeah.
will just mention that Gretchen has an ulterior motive for not wanting me to observe Orson tonight. Did I get a sense of what kind of ulterior motive?
She just seemed like she has an alternate motive in general. Like she wants something. It didn't seem to be very specific about Orson, but just in general.
Like she wanted something from us, or she didn't want me to do something?
More like she wants something from you.
Between the conversation Oliver and Kennedy had, I think I'm understanding why the elders weren't sent out here. It's not necessarily the gossip, it's that maybe not everybody agrees about this place, and they very much know that this is a rehab center.
Could be. It would make a certain amount of sense if any of the elders were to come here. They'd either have to do something about it, or they'd be giving legitimacy to it.
Or there's the possibility the elders don't know about it, and
Accolon's not the one who sent us here, is he?
No,
No.
it's with Larissa.
Mother Larissa, the actual head of the SEPTA in New York. But
They were also told nothing of the condition or of the of anything that's going on out here.
yeah,
They
they
were-
literally knew that Graveseeker was out this way, and they were like, and the spirits were being very vague about what the hell was going on. So
yeah, but anybody can say that to anybody, especially their low-ranked members of the SEPT like us.
Which I suppose then gives us that question of how do we proceed?
Probably do our own investigation without their prying eyes.
Are we willing to take the guy by force if we need to?
I mean,
I think I want to see what condition he's in before we make any sort of decision like that. If this place is helping him, it might be a good place to keep him.
So, if we're supposing that the elders know, do we want to report back about the facility? Because in the case that they don't, this might cause more trouble than it's worth.
I think we should keep it close to the chest until we know a little bit more about what's going on.
yeah,
Makes sense.
trying to make a judgment on what's going, if whether something weird is going on here or otherwise is, will just lead us to other problems.
I'm glad nobody volunteered to sleep in the loony house. I was
If-
scared for a second.
we look, I'm not saying that we should tell them, but I am saying that if we don't report to the elders what it is that we're seeing here, we're making a decision to be complicit with it.
Not necessarily, Kennedy. Politics is a fickle thing. All we have to do is recover the boy, and that's all we were told to do.
No, it's not that simple. There is honor at stake.
Honor among our society is not that simple.
Exactly. If we do not tell them, either because we assume they already know or because we just don't want them to know, we are making a decision. And I'm not saying what decision it is we have to make. In fact, we'd probably better sleep on it. But we are making a decision if we don't report back to them what it is we're finding here.
The local
right,
SEP
Kennedy.
knows,
You're right.
supposedly.
Supposedly.
It would be
And
good to
I
cross. It would be good to cross-reference that, corroborate it with
I-
RCEPT.
I suspect that Mother Larissa probably does know, but like I said, it's a touchy thing.
Well, if we are going to tell them, I think we should just tell Mother Larissa, not everybody else. I kind of agree with what they're doing here, personally.
Jonesy, how do glasswalkers generally feel about this issue?
Really depends on the glasswalker. You're probably the most individual of tribes when it comes to that kind of thing yourself. I mean, that his opinions vary greatly because they discuss things like mental health and stuff like that. As a general rule, you would think that glasswalkers would probably be open to the possibility, especially given the fact that the Grue are dying out. You know, if we can save a handful of cubs that we would otherwise lose, that's a handful more to help fight the worm. So, and being more progressive, generally being willing to embrace Weaver tech and things like that, a fair amount of the glasswalkers would be more inclined to.
More like progressive, pragmatic, even if they may not like usually.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was feeling.
I say we keep an eye on the place tonight. We sleep on it. If it feels like this is a horror freak show sort of deal, we'll tell them what we find.
It seems like there's more here going on than what is to be what they are telling us and what is being shown.
I think that's 100% true.
I take issue with what they're doing as they do not understand at least my tribe's views on the subject. And this is an elder of my tribe that we're talking about. My tribe is not against helping people back from that point of the brink. But there's very little that can be done about Hirano if it is that, or in my tribe's case, I guess madness would probably be the best way to put it, is seen as a alternative way to look at the world and a different form of enlightenment. We learned a lot from those in the street who you would just look at and call lunatics or madmen. We see the wisdom in what they say and what they're interacting with. Some of them are actually interacting with spirits or ghosts or other things out in the world where most people just see them talking to themselves. Like they could be talking to other things, and it might not be spirits. And we can learn, especially the Bone Gnars, can learn a lot from those people because we'll give them the time, we'll give them the space they need. What they're doing, to a point, I can understand. If he's comatose and can't do anything, then he's absolutely needs to be helped to the point where he can. But at the same time, they're going to try to cure him of all of it. What, like every other mental hospital, at what point is he cured, and at what point do you figure that, or what time do they figure is the end point for it?
I guess that's what we'll figure out tomorrow.
So
Everybody get some sleep.
and with that, we will call that the end of episode 1 of season 2 of Born of Rage. As you find yourselves in the wilds of Wyoming, in an RV parked outside of a werewolf
Mental hospital.
lunatic asylum.
Man, they really send a dog to a farm upstate.
And I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. That was we appreciate it. I'm very excited about the season. I personally love this story arc. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see how it plays out, especially with this particular pack. So we do have a couple other announcements. All of season 1 of Born of Rage, the Rite of Passage arc, is available on demand on our YouTube channel, so you can catch up if you've missed any of it. We do have several episodes of our amazing Something Dragons podcast, which are available, which features a bunch of awesome teen girls discovering the love of Pathfinder and fantasy RPGs in general. So I'm thrilled that that's out there. And then we also have our other show, which is tomorrow night. We have Titan City Chronicles, which is our monsters and masked men and noir-esque superhero show run by our illustrious Alex, set in his Titan City universe. We have several little short chronicles available for those who want something quick and awesome to catch up on. And then we also have new episodes coming out of the current World War II story arc. So did I say that correctly,
crazy
Alex? Did I miss anything?
No, I don't think so. I think that's all good.
So we next week the pack will meet with Gretchen some more, and looks like it's going to be time to meet Orson and see what's going on. So looking forward to that. With that, I would like to wish everyone a good evening, and thank you for tuning in.